Let's get to it. What impact does culture have on the youth? Well, culture kind of shapes the youth's life depending on what culture they have. Depends on what kind of person they're going to be socialized to be. The culture kind of has like their belief system. So their what religion they practice is likely to be based on their culture. It's going to be a big part of their identity. Um, what music they listen to also is affected by culture. So whatever music they listen to, they're going to give them the ideas and concepts of what to be, what not to be, so on and so forth. So culture has a pretty huge impact on what a youth is going to be like when they're an emerging adult or when they eventually become an adult. So it's pretty important. Their culture also talks about what foods they eat, depending on what culture they are from. Like if they are in a culture that like seafood, they'll eat seafood. So on and so forth. And different foods have different advantages and disadvantages. Sorry, for the human body. So where their culture eats could be they could affect their life. Like in African American culture, they eat a lot of more or less unhealthy foods, which kind of puts them in the hospital potentially. And other cultures don't have that. Like I know Asians, they eat healthy and in smaller portions and tend to eat fresh food, so that affects them biologically, which hormones are produced and so on, how well their physical body is. That also has to do with their cognitive ability. If they're getting proper nutrition or improper nutrition, that's going to affect how their brain develops. So there you go. Culture affects food, which in a way affects brain development and overall wellness. What behaviors are acceptable in a culture is going to determine how they act. So that's important. And it also teaches them how to be social. Depending on which culture, of course, is how they're going to socialize, what they're going to contend, think is socially acceptable or unacceptable. That's within the culture. And it's really up to the agents of socialization to kind of help guide the youth through their culture and get exposed and understand other cultures, not just alienate them and see them as a other, so that they can learn from other cultures, so appreciate their culture and other people's culture, so they can get along with people and not be giant jerks. It's going to differ for kids depending on what stage they're in because of their cognitive development. They haven't experienced the world and they haven't been exposed to a lot because they've just been exposed to their culture via enculturation. So being able to see what other cultures are like from someone who's experienced it, all that could help them. Like if there's someone within the culture that's experienced other cultures and then tells the youth about the other cultures they experienced in a positive way, that could help the youth understand some things about their culture and respect other people's cultures as well. And that's pretty much why culture is kind of a big deal for you. So yeah.